All right, guys, now I got this review. First one says, write in vertex form. Our vertex form looks like this. Y equals ax minus h squared plus k, where h and k is the vertex. So I'm just going to plug the vertex right in here. The x part is minus, it's all opposite inside, exactly outside. Now to find your a, you always use this point to find your a. So I'm going to put the 8 in for the y. I'm putting the 13 in for the x. I'm about to do two things at once here. I'm moving that 2 over there, make that a 6. 13 minus 3 inside that parentheses is 10. 10 squared is 100. That's 100a. So if I divide, I get 6 over 100, which is really reduced, is 3 over 50. There's my a. Now your answer is the equation. So I'm going to write y is 3/50 x minus 3 squared plus 2. There's your vertex right there. All right, number 2 says write in intercept form. They're telling you the intercepts, which is awesome. Intercept form looks like this, by the way. It looks like ax minus b times x minus c, where b and c are the intercepts. This time it's 12 and also -6. Because it's -6, I'm going to put plus 6. To find my a, I would go on, once again, use the point. Plug the 4 in for the y. Let's plug the 14 in for both x's, like that. Okay, so I get 2, that's not a 2, 2 and 20. That's going to be 40a is 4, so I'm going to divide both sides by the 40. That's 4/40, which reduces down to 1/10. So my equation is y equals 1/10 x minus the first x-intercept, x minus the second vertex. There it is. Number 3 is on your calculator. We're going to plug those numbers in and do quad reg on the calc. So I'm going to stat edit. I'm putting those numbers. You can probably hear my calculator bouncing off the disk. Stat edit, put those numbers in, and I'm going to go to stat calc. Number 5 is quad reg. Make sure it's L1, L2. And I'm getting this equation. It says y equals 56. Let's go one decimal place. Oops, negative 56.2 x squared plus 139.3 x plus 9.35. Then it says, in part B, what's the concentration after 1.7 hours? The hours are by x. So it's going to fall right in here. So I'm going to put 1.75 into that x and that x on my calculator and see what I get. And I'm getting 81.01, which falls in right there pretty good with that. So makes sense. Quad reg on the calculator. Number 4, simplify square root of 72. You got to use those perfect square numbers. I know 36 goes into 72 2 times. I get 6 on 2. You could also use 9 and 8, but you're going to have to break down the 8 some more. Whenever they give you a fraction, let's break it into 2 pieces like this. You can't leave a radical on the bottom, but the square root of 121 is 11. You can't break down 5 at all, so you're stuck with that. Number 6, factor. This is a difference of squares. Remember, you can only do difference of squares. The square root of x squared is x. The square root of 36 is 6. You need a plus and minus. That's the difference of squares. 7 is the same kind of problem. Okay, it's also a difference of squares. The square root of 9x squared is 3x. The square root of 64 is 8. Need a plus and a minus again. Now, number 8 is called a perfect square trinomial because the first term and the last term both have square roots. And because they do, what you should try, and I'm doing all pluses here because the middle term is a positive. Also, I'm going to try x plus 10, x plus 10. And what you need to check is your outer inner. Like if I check my outer, that's 10x. If I check my inner, that's 10x. 10x plus 10x is 20x, so it works great. So I'm just going to put x plus 10 squared, and there you have it. All right, 4 terms, factor by grouping. Here we go. So group the first 2 and the second 2. If I take the GCF out of the first 2, I can pull out an x squared. That leaves an x plus 4. If I factor 9 out of the second 2, that also leaves an x plus 4. You must get the same thing in both parentheses. And because you got x plus 4 in both of them, you can take out the x plus 4. And what that leaves me with is an x squared plus 9. Now, if it would have left me with an x squared minus 9, I would have factored some more, but I can't factor sum of squares, only difference of squares. Number 10, same kind of problem, except the first thing you need to do when you start to factor is take out a GCF. You know what? Number 10 has one. So I can take a 3 out of everything. That's going to leave an x cubed, a 9x squared, a 3x, and a 21. 21. And you know what? if I try to group, like if I try to put those two together, it would do this. I would take out an x squared, that would leave x minus 9. If I take out a, let's say a -3 here, that will leave an x minus 7. And because those aren't the same, I can't do grouping. All right, so this time all you can do is take out the GCF, and that's okay. So your answer is just that. All right, so don't think because you see 4 terms you have to group, and don't forget you always need to do GCF first. Great, Chuck. All right, solve by elimination. We've done elimination now forever. I'm gonna multiply the top equation by 3 so that my y's will disappear. So I'm gonna get 12x minus 3y. Don't forget the right-hand side is 18. I'm just pulling this equation straight over because my y's are ready to go. So when I add them up, the y's are gone. 12x and 1x is 13x. 18 and 8 is 26. Divide by 13, I get x is 2. Don't stop there. You got to plug that 2 back in to get your y. I'm going to plug it in right there. Gives me 2 plus 3y equals 8. Let's move that 2 over. That's 6. Divide by 3. That's 2. So my answer is x is 2 and y is 2. We've done a law elimination. That should not be too bad. Okay, number 12. Let the graph of G be a vertical shrink by a factor of 2/5 and a reflection in the x-axis, followed by a translation 2 units down of the graph of fx is x squared. Write a rule for G. Okay, here we go. The rule just means write the equation. Okay, so, and it's a parabola because it's x squared. Okay, first thing we got is a 2/5 vertical shrink, which means the 2/5 goes in the front. A reflection in the x means we have a negative in the front, followed by a translation 2 units down. Okay, down means it's outside. So I'm going to go, that's not a very good square there. So I'm just going to go -2 at the end. Now it says, what's the vertex? This is already vertex form. There's nothing in the parentheses with the x squared, so my vertex is going to be 0. There's a -2 outside, so the vertex is -2. And the last one already, this is not bad. Write the equation of the line that passes through that point and is parallel to that line. Now, if it's parallel, remember, that means it has the same slope. So if I'm looking at this equation and it's in slope-intercept form, slope is 5. So there's my point, there's my slope. So I'm using point-slope form, which looks like this. There's your point-slope form. So I'm going to put the point in, the y-coordinate for the y, the slope for the m, the x-coordinate for the x, and then I want you to do 2 steps. I want you to, get the y by itself, put it in slope-intercept form. So distribute the 5. That's the first step. And then the last step, I'm just going to move that 1. That's a terrible-looking y. I'm just going to move that 1 to the other side. I'm going to make it 5x minus 24 because you're really adding 1 over there. And that's it. All right, so something that looks weird there to me. Let me double check that real quick. Yeah, that's good. That's perfect. All right, so hope that helps. I think you got a great chance to do really, really good tomorrow. So see you then.